Hey guys, welcome to the video. In this video, we are going to see about render passes on Spark AI. So basically, there are three types of render passes: scene render pass, shader render pass, and phase render pass. So we are going to see in detail about what are each render passes and how can you use them. So let's go into the video. So I'm creating a blank template. You can just see there is nothing. So first what we are going to see is a scene render pass. Either what you can do is you can just open the patch editor, you can just search for passes and you can just find all the three passes: the scene render pass, the shader render pass, and the face extraction render pass. So I'll be covering each one by one. First, the scene render pass. If I just add to the scene, what you can just see is you can just see there is a no signal on the output window. So basically this is due to you need basically consider this render passes as a final output for a canvas. For example, a rectangle. Consider a render pass as a rectangle. So in order to use a rectangle, you need to apply a material to it. So for the render pass, the material is basically you can just click on the device and under the render output over here you can just see render pass. If you click over here you can just see the scene output. So whatever you are connecting to the scene output is going to be the final output which is going to display on the screen. So if you are not using anything, you might have any number of 3D models on the under the device, but unless there is a proper setup on the scene render pass or on the device, you will not be able to see any kind of output. So what you can do is you can just initially to start you can just go to the device, click on the default pipeline. So if you click on the default pipeline, this is going to be the setup. So what this does is the device, whatever object under the device will be displayed. So what if I just remove this? You can just see there is not, the plane is not visible. It is because so only whatever objects are connected to the scene object will be outputted from the renders scene render pass. You can use this render pass separately, like you can just use it for an object or differently, but in this video we are going to only cover about the basics of elements. So you can have multiple number of scene render pass in your scene, or like you can just connect it with multiple elements. So in our case we'll be seeing through each element. So now if I just connect the object alone, like the device object alone, you can just see the output. So what if I remove the background? So you can just see there is a black screen. That is the default color what you give here. If I just pick up a color whatever I want, I'll just leave it with the black. You can just see the default color is this. So what this is basically, whatever you are giving as a texture or a background is going to be the background, and then the other elements will be rendered before. So consider this as a two piece of like two rectangles for a simple words. So whatever you are doing under the device will be rendered and it will be created as an image. So that image is the device object. That is like basically what Spark does in a simple word is it takes the camera output and then upon the camera output it renders the 3D model or 2D elements whatever you're creating. It creates a PNG image, like think it of a PNG image. So it adds a PNG image onto the camera texture, then it looks like it's on AR. Basically all the renders have been like, consider it's like a PNG sequence. You're rotating something on a real time, the computer what your mobile device renders every each frame into a 2D image and then adds on to the camera texture. So it looks like it's happening on a real time. So you need a background and you need a scene object. You can just directly connect the camera texture to the scene output. There you can just see you are avoiding the scene render pass directly, but in this case whatever is under the device will not be visible at all.
So now what if you want to display a 3D model, you need to use a scene render pass and do this. Like you can just use multiple scene render passes to make an effect. For example, I'm just going to the library and I'm going to import the sober filter, the patch. I'm just importing it over here. Now I can just apply the texture to the sober filter and then connect the texture to the device. And we need a size texture over here. So now you can just see whatever is on the screen. Or like I'm just going to add a face mesh. Now you can just see whatever is on the scene is going to be rendered as an image, and then that image will be going to the sober filter, this patch, and then the output will be displayed at the last. So using this, you can use a loop for anything on your screen. For example, you can just create a loop and apply it at the last for everything on the consistency. For example, you want to have a consistent look to everything on your screen. You might use multiple 3D models. So I'll just show an example.
You can just see now I imported a loot patch. I'm dragging it over here, and I'm having a loot image. I'm also dragging that over here. So I'm just connecting this RGBA output to the loot. Like as usual, you apply a loot, you are just applying it over here, and then if you apply this texture over here, you can just see this loot is affecting it, and it is affecting the 3D models too. So if I just directly connect this texture over here, you can just see this is the loot. It's basically a cinematic look. Now if I just connect the scene render pass over here, what this does is it basically converts the scene image into a, like it converts the entire scene into a texture, and then the texture is used for loot. Using this you can just make any kind of effect where you can add effect upon effect. For example, I'm just having this. I can just create another scene render pass and use this as a background, and you will see an error because if I just connect this over here, it will not work. Basically what happens now is if I remove this, you can just see the object is being displayed. So the scene render pass only takes a image, basically a image as an input. That is, you can just use this, it works. You can just use the camera texture, it works because it is an image. Whereas this loot or these sober filters are everything are considered as an color according to Spark. So basically consider this, you're taking an image and then you're manipulating it. So what it might be a simple multiplication, but what happens is underneath the Spark it takes the each pixel and it modifies it and it combines it. So it's not an image at the last. So here you will be using something called a shader render pass. So a shader render pass is nothing but, so in simple terms, a shader render pass converts any color into a texture. So now you can just see I created, I'll just remove these stuff so you can just see properly. So now this loot is connected to the shader render pass and the shader render pass is connected to the background. Now this becomes as a texture. So at this level this is considered as a texture, and you can just apply another set of texture while manipulation over here, where I am just putting this over here, sober filter at the last. It needs a screen size. You can just use a receiver center patch. So now you can just see this sober filter is working upon the loots too. So if I just rechange the order will be like the render will be different. So for example, consider this. At this part, it displays all the elements under the scene as it does normally. After this pass, what happens is we are applying a loot. So in this case, if I just connect this to the over here, this is going to be a simple loot which affects all the elements under this part. So now if I just connect that into a shader render pass, screen render pass, and I can just create entire scene into a sober filter kind of effect. So this allows you to create more different looks and more different kind of effects. So now let's see the other uses of the scene render pass. So I'm just going to delete all these elements first. I'm just going to use the scene directly. I'm going to create a rectangle. I'm just making it a full scale. So now you can just see this is a rectangle. I'm just creating a simple material, importing it over here. So I'm just applying a simple camera texture for now. You can just see now. So now we are going to create some procedural textures. For example, let me create a simple rainbow texture. Now you can just see this is a simple rainbow texture. I'll just create so this is actually a simple rainbow texture. I'll just change it in the y-axis. So this is a simple rainbow texture. So what if you want to manipulate this and get a particular color out of this? So you need to perform a transform operation, like the texture transform. Now what if you want to like zoom into a particular color, like a color picker? So I'm just trying to apply a texture transform. It doesn't work. So now I'm using a camera texture to show how it should look like, right? It should actually zoom. It's actually zooming, whereas on this case it's not zooming. So what we have to do is basically we need to convert this into a image. So for that we are going to use shader render pass. So we can just connect this to the shader and then we can just connect it to the texture. Now it's actually zooming. If I just put it 1, 2, now you can just see it's zooming in. So if I just put it like 0.2 and I'm just putting 0.4 or something, like minus 0.4, as like mostly every color are same. I'm just going to put over here on the Y. You can just see it's moving. Previously it was not moving because we were doing on the x-axis. Now if I just put 1, you can just see it's moving. 0.5, it's different. If I just put, so in our case if you want to like work on x-axis, you can just change it to x, and here you can just see the difference between like, so this is 0. So basically on the Y, if we increase it doesn't matter because the Y it's always constant, whereas on the x-axis the color changes. If I just put 1, it's different. If I just put 2, it's different. So based on the swizzle value you're putting over here, that value will be changing over here. So if I just put 0.4, you can just see it's moving positive 0.4. If I just put minus 0.4, it just shift over here. So using, if I just directly connect it to the texture, you can just see there is no effect. So in this case, we are using a shader render pass. Basically, it's like converting a procedural texture into a image and then manipulating it for the further. So the next case is the face render pass. So the thing is, we can't use a face track while using a shader render pass. We can't extract the face texture. So if you want to use the face texture, like face tracking texture, through this technique, you need to remove all the capabilities related to shaders. So if I just click it, now we can access it. Whereas if I have a, I'm just going to create a default template again, you can just see we can't have both the face tracking texture, that is basically through this part, like we can't extract that face tracking texture through this. So in order to create a face tracking during the render passes, we are going to use something called a face extraction render pass. So it is basically the same as what normally the face tracking, like the face texture does. So in our case, like I'm just going to like import the camera texture. So it has same background, default color, everything, but it has something called the tracked face. So basically whatever you will be having on the camera texture, like the face tracking, you will be having everything under this part. So now it's so easy for us to like use them on the render passes. So basically like it's same as the old one, like I'm just connect the camera texture to camera texture, creating a plane. If I just put a texture over here, you can just see it's the same texture upon a camera texture. Like if I just remove this, it's normal, like it's basically a face texture, but we are using it on a procedural way, like we are not extracting it over here. We can't use it as a texture. It's basically a color based. I can just remove the color, like mouth and nose. If I use it as a, I can use it as a 2D bounding box or 3D image, like if you want to apply it on a face tracking, like a face mesh. So if I just go on here and add a face mesh, I can just use the same texture and it works fine. I can just put a mouth, remove it, all the things. The only difference is that we can't use face track, like the face extraction texture on while using the render passes. So this is actually a basics of render passes. So if you have any doubts, you can just ask it in the comments below. Thank you.